Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casual KO. A fun week. Coming off of a fun week, I should say. I was thinking about just like throwing this whole thing away. I'm done. I'm done after last week. I would recommend anyone listening to the show just not follow any bets that I make. Although my picks are fairly decent, my actual bets are not. So, it was very frustrating last week, frustrating the week before that as well. We're hoping that maybe we can come back and do something nice this weekend. And this is just me speaking. This isn't Jared, this isn't Alex. But yeah, I am very frustrated with the way that my betting has been going. So we'll see how it is. Okay. Alex, I'll start with you, man. You weren't here last week. You actually, if I'm not mistaken, you chose gay fag to win every single fight last week. How did that go for you?
Pretty good because Diego Frey is a gay fag and he won, so
Okay.
not too bad. I lost on, I picked four dogs. The dogs were definitely barking last week. I had Charles, Nurse Sultan, Diego, and who did I have lastly?
There's Sultan
Um,
lost.
yeah, well, I went two out of four, so that should tell you. And I had Caceres, which was a shit pick. And I did fall for the Robellis trap. Now I'm in pain. And Borshev cost me some bread, so it was a losing week for me. And it hurts because, I feel you with the picks are going good, but sometimes you just bet big on the wrong guy. And it hurts when you hit a dog at plus 350 and you still lose money that week. So I know how you feel, Ryan.
Yeah, I was very frustrated. And the thing is, we got to talk about this before I ask Jared how he did. Does Vladislav Borshev, does he suck? I mean, I'm in the camp that he sucks. I think that he's
At
dusted.
wrestling, yes. If it depends on the matchup. Like I just saw that fight going a whole different route, but Jared did warn me. He said, the stock is low on Hooper right now, and I just thought he was gonna get cracked. I didn't think he was gonna last a minute on the feet with Borshev, but I was.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like shit. And I think that Borshev should actually retire. That's my thought on that because he looked horrible. He looked old. He looked like shit. I think Borshev, you should retire because you have nothing for anyone in this division. And I don't know, go to PFL. You got a chance to make some money there. But Jared, what do you think about this weekend? And first of all, I want to hear what your thoughts are on Borshev.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting fucking smoked and dropped by Chase Hooper, you got problems. I mean, never did I see that fight going that way. If anything, I thought Hooper was going to get smoked and dropped and be live for a fluky sub. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, is Slava that bad or is Hooper that good? Not really sure what to make of it. But either way, man, what a fucking bad look for him.
But that double method bet though, the double method with Hooper by sub and
Yeah.
Borshev by KO, that was a smash. I
But
wish I just bet that.
realistically, it should have been Hooper by sub. I mean, not Hooper by knockout, depending
Yeah.
on the ref you have in there, man. I mean, that shit could have been stopped four times
Was it?
before he got stopped when he didn't tap or whatever. That was whole thing was weird. I saw someone say he didn't tap. It was a bad stoppage. It's like, yeah, it was a bad stoppage. He should have stopped it 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was actually hoping that they were gonna call that a no contest, but there's no fucking way that they would do that when Ryan Dean has money on Borshev, right? If I didn't have money on it, they would have fucking, you know, they would have called it a no contest. But yeah, there's no way. So just a really bad beat all around. Last weekend sucked. I'm hoping that this is a more normal weekend. Because yeah, when shit's a little more normal, I have a good gauge on stuff. But yeah, just last two weekends sucked. How did you do last weekend, Jaron?
It was kind of hit or miss, but we did end in the green. Fucking Slava hurt, and then fucking Rebecca killed me. And but I had that St. Louis parlay with Woodson, Buckley, and Johnson. So I think that was like plus 500, something like that. But so that hit, that helped. And then I had a straight bet on Buckley, and then I ended up doing a two teamer of Buckley and Lewis. So We somehow ended the night in profit, but it wasn't looking good for a while. But we pulled it out. I mean, it wasn't much profit, but it's better than losing.
Okay. All
And then
right.
on Monday, yesterday, we hit that random tennis parlay I sent you. I was like, man, is this something that gets people addicted to betting or what? $5 for 225.
I mean, dude, I had a nice little parlay going with underdog fantasy with NASCAR and Kyle Larson fucking crashes like with 50 laps to go. And you know, for people that don't really understand NASCAR, I'm not a huge NASCAR bettor. I just kind of dabbled into it last weekend. Kyle Larson is like your fucking I mean, he's like your Alex Pereira. He's like just a fucking badass dude that always finishes first, always finishes like top 3, top 5. This dude crashes, finishes 30 fucking second out of 34. He's like the one that finishes last place as far as the ones that finish. So just weird. I feel like I'm having bad luck lately, and you go through these spells. This is when I want to start looking through like zodiacs and stuff. Because I'll have just like this weird thing where I'll have nothing but good picks. Even if they're bad picks on paper, they end up cashing. And lately, I am not hitting a goddamn thing. So, like I said, don't fucking tail me. Fade what I say until I actually start heating up again. But I think there's something to that, man. I don't know necessarily if it's true, but yeah, rough luck lately. Um, I want to talk about a little bit of the stuff that we talk about, behind the scenes before we start talking about this mediocre card on paper. I think it'll be fun still. We talk about movies a lot at the end, right? We talk about movies. So you're a fond uh, you know, you're happy with the picks that I make as far as movies go, Jared, right?
Oh,
Uh,
you're 3-0, dude.
I'm 3-0 on movies. What'd you think about the movie that I recommended to you last week and Dead Presidents?
Dude, great. It was such a good watch. I mean, I like that they actually, showed some of the combat scenes in Vietnam. Like when you first gave me the plot, I was thinking that it starts off with them just getting back from Vietnam, but I liked how, these kids are in high school and they're figuring out what they're going to do. And then, one kid says he's going to go to college and draft dodge, and then they both end up in Vietnam together. And then, it really speaks to shit people don't consider, how fucked up guys are getting on drugs over there and they come home with problems. It's just the movie fucking it hit on all cylinders. And then they had the whole bank heist and everything, dude. Very, very well put together. I'm like, this motherfucker did it again. 3-0. Alex, you got to catch up. Mr. 0-1 over there.
Well,
Those would have been in my recommendation list anyways. Like Ryan Dean got the same taste as me in movies. I've been nothing but impressed in like supporting all of his recommendations. And the only one I didn't really his worst recommendation so far is the Talk with the Devil show.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched that. Told me it gave him nightmares. Wasn't trying to do that.
Yeah,
It did not.
Alex, one of my other
But
friends
it
made
did have a lot of occultic meaning behind it. I get the recommendation, but as a movie as itself, it didn't really hit as hard as I thought.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like one of my other friends said that he didn't like that one either. So yeah, it is maybe it's a required, an acquired taste. But my sister loved it. I don't know, maybe it's just something like the setting that you're watching it in. I watched it alone at night in my house, and it was very fucking creepy, and I thought it was really good. I just like the way that it was done. But yeah, maybe not the best movie. I probably wouldn't recommend that to Jared.
It was different. It's great first watch. I mean, it's just not something that I mean, I guess it's not a horrible movie. And would I watch it again? Yes, but it's not at the top 10 of, or 25 of my horror movie list. But it's
Sure.
not a horrible rec. I just have high standards for horror movies.
Okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind when I recommend movies to you. But yeah, man, just trying to expand our horizons in movies. I
Did you
did
get around to Mystic River?
I checked it out. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very dark. It's a very dark, it's considered, I looked into it a little bit as far as the way that it's described, and it's a neo-noir movie. So it's like a new kind of dark movie. It was directed by Clint Eastwood. Um, Yeah, weird fucking movie, man. I liked it. Um, I'm always a fan of anything that has to do with like Ireland, Irish folks and stuff like that. It's cool. Did you watch this, Alex? Have you seen Mystic
Is
River?
the one on our area in Massachusetts or
Yep.
something? Yeah, then I've seen parts of it, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's creepy. It's a creepy movie. It talks about like pedophilia. Um, it is a dark concept. And you were talking about, Jared, that you like these kinds of movies where it makes you think. Have you seen, and this might be a stupid question, have you seen Jared Requiem for a Dream?
What is it?
Okay. You need to
Nah,
watch
for real. I didn't make out what you said.
Requiem for a Dream.
Never heard of it.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a must. That's another great wreck. Oh, he's hitting you hard, bro. He's giving you bangers.
Dude, when you
He's
watch and
dropping bangers after week.
well, dude, and look at like listen to what I'm saying here. And Alex, you've
Dropping you
obviously seen
blocked right now.
dude, Alex, you remind me, not with the heroin, not with all the drug abuse and stuff. You remind me of Jared Leto's character in that movie, but not as much of a piece of shit. Just the way that you talk, the way that you look. And it's a compliment, honestly. Jared Leto's a good looking dude.
I
Jared,
gotta
you
grow
need
the
to
hair.
watch this shit and tell me that Alex isn't Jared Leto's character in this fucking movie.
I
It's a
thought
big
Alex was
level up
the
from Gillian Robertson. Big level up.
that fucking detective from Boondock Saints is Alex in about 40 years.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, exactly. But I mean, Alex is Jared Leto's character in this movie now. Barring the heroin and the stealing from his own mom. But I mean, just the way that his persona, it's all the same, other than the negative qualities of Jared Leto. Check that out. That's the next movie I recommend to you. We'll just get ahead on that. Yeah, Requiem for a Dream, phenomenal movie, terrifying, creepy, wild. Watch it fucked up, and you'll like it.
I'm in.
All right, we'll
Watch
go
it.
4 for 4. All right. Well, what do you say we get into this card this weekend? UFC Vegas 92. I'll share my screen. This is a new setup, so I do have to figure out how to actually do this properly. I should have done this earlier. Whiteboard Safari. Okay, let's see. Safari. Open system preferences. Let's see if it'll allow me to do this. I am in.
Well, while Ryan's figuring himself out, I'll fucking throw up my new TJ Dillashaw 2014 autograph card. I fucking love it. Even says on the back, congratulations, you're a fucking nerd. Love it, dude. Ryan fucking made a monster out of me. I'm gonna be ordering these things nonstop.
Yeah, dude, you should. You really should.
Who's
The value's crazy, dude. You're finding like these years that people won the belt or they had their best years. These things are going for like fucking $20.
who you getting next?
Next one's Joanna, 2015 Joanna. That's on its way. And then I got I just ordered a signed Stamp Fairtex glove.
Nice.
And that was only fucking $80.
That's not that bad.
No, dude, I'm fucking in. That's just, I mean, which is insane to think. You got a 3-sport champion, signed gloves, fucking $80.
Well, we owe it to her. We only just bet on her every fight, so I mean,
It's been working out.
all right. So what we got for the first?
I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to figure this out live on air. So what we can do, we know what the fights are. I can read them. We're just not going to be able to pull up Tapology. Who gives a fuck though? People can tune into Tapology if they want. First fight of the night, we have Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Demopoulos, the stripper. I mean, there's some wild stories coming out about this girl. I heard that she would strip alongside her own mother, and then her father would play like he was the DJ in the strip club. So it's like a family business. I heard this week, and I think that that's pretty wild. So obviously, she's been through it a little bit. Vanessa Demopoulos, her best years are behind her. But I'm interested in what you think, Alex. Since you weren't here last week, I'll let you start the card off. It's an interesting fight to start, pretty evenly matched. Emily Ducote is a 3-1 favorite at this point in time. But what do you think about this first matchup of the night?
I think the odds are a little bit wide, but on paper you got to go Ducote. I mean, just volume, takedown defense. I mean, I just don't really see a world other than a robbery where Vanessa wins this fight, you know? I guess she has more UFC experience, but I really go back to that fight with Loopy, and I think even though Emily's younger in the UFC, I think she's fought better talent. I think she has the better resume in only those 4 fights that she has. And I think she gets a win here comfortably. Um, I wouldn't even be shy of betting a finish here. I think she can finish Vanessa, get her out of there. Uh, but anything close, you know what's gonna happen. They're just gonna always give it to the stripper because the fan base loves her, and she's got the fans behind her. But I feel safe betting Emily by finish. I'm gonna go TKO round 2.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can't disagree with you. I want to hear what Jared has to say first. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you as far as the line being a bit wide here. I mean, if I was an odds maker, I'd have it close to even. Maybe Ducote is a slight favorite, but it's a little too wide for me.
Well,
Demopoulos,
two to
what she's gonna what?
oh, I said like 2-1 odds was fair. Like minus 200 on Dakota would have been fair, but it's 350 is
Yeah.
getting outrageous.
Well, we know what we're getting with Demopoulos. She's got that jujitsu base, but I mean, she's not one dimensional. She's willing to stay on her feet and try to be the aggressor, but even doing that, you can tell she's not a natural striker. She still shows a lot of openings, and if she starts getting tagged up, she's going to go back to what she knows, which is she'll pull guard, just try to get a hold of something. On the Cody side, I mean, the girl, she's fairly well rounded. Um, I know she wrestled in college. I guess I'm not sure where or what division, but at least she got some wrestling experience. But when you see her fight, she looks to chew up the lead leg early, and she kind of has like this composure to her in there. Like she has a calmness where she doesn't rush things. She doesn't mind throwing little shots and just kind of investing and you know chopping up the leg. Maybe not throwing the hardest kicks, but they're adding up over time. She just she's pretty basic, but she's kind of decent everywhere. It's just she's an okay fighter. She's kind of a stationary target, but I don't see Demopoulos winning this fight unless she can find a submission. So I'd say Ducote just probably finds better of the exchanges. Maybe Demopoulos is a little over aggressive, gets herself caught, but I'm going to lean this fight goes long. So I'll just say Ducote wins a decision here.
Yeah, I agree, and this is concerning, right? Every time that we all agree on the first fight of the night, it's a little weird, but this is not an underdog situation. Um, yeah, I'll go to Cody as well, and I think that it does end via decision. So yeah, give me Ducote um by decision. I think that, Demopoulos, she's going to try to probably get this to the ground at some point. She likes working off of her back. She's mentioned that she's very comfortable off of her back and she fights like she's comfortable off of her back. But I don't know. I don't think that she's won a fight in the UFC, to be honest. Every single one of these fights that she's won, other than her finish against Silvana Gomez, I think that she lost all these fights, man. And she was losing that fight against Gomez Juarez, I should say, until she actually got that win. So I don't know, man. I don't think she's UFC material. She's just got a big old booty. And I think that the UFC likes big old booties on girls, man. So give it to her. If it is close, yeah, I think that she wins. But I think that Ducote probably makes this to where it's, not close at all. Um, I'll take the second fight of the night, man, because I actually have an opinion on this one. We got Alateng Lee versus Clayton Rodrigues. And Clayton Rodrigues seems like he's the side here. He is the favorite, but I'm gonna take Alateng Lee. I think that he's a better wrestler. There's people that say that he can either wrestle or he can strike, and he can't really string the two together, but I'm not impressed with Clayton. His really his best win, his only win in the UFC is fucking Shannon Ross, man. Everyone knocks out Shannon Ross. I think Alex, Jared, me, I think that we've all knocked out Shannon Ross at some point. Everyone knocks out Shannon Ross. So, yeah, I don't care. He also got finished by Fareed Basharat. Fareed and Javid, they don't finish people at the UFC level. So I'm leaning towards the idea that Clayton Rodrigues is not UFC level. I think Alateng Haley is. This camp out of Fight Ready, Scottsdale, Arizona, they're not doing so well lately. So I think this is kind of like a buy low spot on someone like Alateng Haley, who's more experienced. Yeah, he's 16-9, 2 draws. He fights close always. But I feel like this is just kind of the side here, and this is more of a feeling more than like an analytical spot. But I will take Alateng Haley, and I'll take him by I don't know if what method I want to really take him by. He goes to decision a lot. I think he'd get a sub here, but I'm gonna go probably decision Alateng Haley. What do you guys think? Jared, go for it.
I've always liked Clayton Rodrigues, and I feel like he's just one of these guys that I like. I have a hard time accepting that he's just not that good because I want him to be good. I like his style. He has that Muay Thai base where he's really light on his lead leg, and the dude's fucking super aggressive, and he's just fast. But the dude gets a little wild. He'll throw jump knees, spinning shit. I've seen the dude have like some lapses in judgment, just putting himself in shitty situations. But you look at the two guys. He's obviously Shannon Ross is a whatever win, but he did what he was supposed to do there. The two losses, they're not that bad. There's worse guys you can be losing to, but I just always like the guy, man. He doesn't shy away from a wild exchange. I think he has some underrated grappling skills, and the dude's just fucking tough as shit. I don't know why. I just like the dude. I like the way he fights. I like guys that just get after it. On the Alateng side, I mean, he's pretty similar deal as far as willing to get in that crazy exchange because he's a dude that has some good wrestling skills, but he has no problem just standing and trading. And that seems to be how he likes to fight. His right hand is his best weapon. And, the dude, he feints takedowns. And then if you start biting on that, that's going to open you up for him to land those power shots. But he's just a dude that he wants to get in close and he just wants to throw hands. And that's what he's going to have to do here. Because if you leave Clayton at kicking distance, he's going to fucking be hitting all 3 levels and those kicks come fast. So, this dude, he kind of loads up, really commits to his punches and doesn't really throw kicks. So I'm just going to go with the guy that I think has more weapons. And I do think he's a bit underrated. So I'm going to go with Clayton Rodrigues. And I'm going to say he wins a decision, even though this is going to be a wild one. Won't be surprised if somebody gets knocked out.
Yeah, I like it. Decision win for Rodrigues. Alex, where are you at?
This is a tough one. I've been back and forth on this one because, on paper, Alateng looks like an auto bet at dog odds. Look at his resume. He's basically a vet at this point in the UFC. Has a lot of names under his belt and has never been finished as well. So against a guy who's primarily a finisher, I guess we could say he beat CJ. That was a close fight. I had Rodrigues winning that fight, but that's his best possible win on paper. Is that split decision loss to Vergara, and that didn't tell us too much. So in a close fight like this, I kind of want to bet the durability here, but then I'm scared that Alateng could even get Clayton out of there. So this is more of an unpredictable fight for me. I liked Rodrigues back down at 125. It's not often that you see Alateng fighting someone his own size as well, so I'm gonna go Alateng by decision, but it could go either way. I think it's gonna be a close fight, and I think it does go the distance.
Okay. So yeah, Jared is the odd man out here on this one here, the second fight of the night. Alex, this is yours to start with. You've got Piera Rodrigues versus Ariane Carnelossi. Carnelossi coming back after a little while off 2 years ago. Almost, I mean, literally to the date when she fights. It's been 2 years to the day. Like not 1 day and 6 months, nothing. 2 years to the day. She's fighting a really, I think, talented fighter, man, in Piera Rodrigues. But the physicality of Carnelossi is so like it's intimidating if you're a chick, right? This girl's got bigger arms than me. I mean, she's a tough chick, Muay Thai style fighter. But she does like to push people against the fence. I don't know what you think about this, Alex. You can start it off. What do you think about Rodrigues versus Carnelossi?
I have a strong opinion on this actually. I think Pierre Rodriguez is 100% the rightful side in this. I would have liked her more better at like minus 150, minus 170. But yeah, she's rightful at minus 200 against Carnelossi, who hasn't fought in 2 years, who has a wrestling deficiency. We see Rodriguez out here out wrestling girls like Kay Hansen, Sam Hughes, who's not even that bad, who's pretty much that's her number one game is cardio and wrestling. So that's what she's gonna need. I think round one's gonna be the scariest part of this fight for her because Carnelossi, got that steroid power round one. So I think this is a great live bet position as well. See if Piera survives round one. Maybe get her at even odds going into round two. And I think she can win round two and three with a wrestling heavy game plan and get a decision unanimous.
Okay. Decision, Rodrigues. Jared, what are your thoughts? I think you're muted.
Yep, just realized that. Yeah, I'm with Alex. I'm on the Rodriguez side. Carnelossi, like you said, 2 years off. I believe she had a back surgery in that time. I think sometime last year she had a back surgery. But when you look at her fights, it seems like her real game plan is just walk forward, throw punches, and try to start a clinch. And she has no problem staying against the fence. She'll try to get you to the ground, but more than likely, they're going to hang out against the fence a lot. And she's pretty hittable, man. On her entries, she's not really cutting angles. She doesn't get off that center line. Her head is always right there to be hit. I mean, she wants this fight on the fence or on the ground. She's, obviously you see how strong she is. She's a girl that relies on that strength. Uh, but honestly, she's strong. She's aggressive, but she's just not that good. On the Rodriguez side, this girl, she's pretty well rounded in this fight. Of course, she got to look to stay on her feet. She has the sharper, more technical striking, and she should just look to make this a striking match and keep that distance. Do what she can to keep Carnelossi at kicking distance because she Rodriguez has a good clinch game, and I think she has a decent ground game, but you don't want to play that clinch game with Carnelossi because you can have the better technique, but she could just outmuscle her and keep her in a spot. And even if she's not doing shit with it, if you're being controlled, you're not winning. So I like Rodriguez here. I like her to just kind of keep it at range. If she ends up against the fence or on her back, I'd like to trust she can get out of that. So I'm going to say Rodriguez takes a decision here.
Okay. So you guys both have Rodriguez by decision. I was leaning that way myself, but just the thing is, it seems like there's this narrative being built that Carnelossi doesn't stand a chance, and it would make sense that Rodriguez should win this fight, but women's MMA doesn't make sense, and for no other reason other than that, I'm just taking Carnelossi. There's no logic to it. There's no reason to take Carnelossi, but this fight
Well,
seems
she's
weird.
a lot of finishing capability in this fight. She's
What's that?
on roids. To be honest, if I was gonna bet a finish, I'm betting Carnelossi in this fight.
Right. Right.
She's more trustworthy to finish. She's on the juice, and she's coming in for a finish. Rodriguez is gonna come in with a wrestling style.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I'm going Carnelossi sub round one. I think that she can get a sub at any point, but like what I have here is just a submission round one, just for the sake of making a pick and a round. This is probably a fight to stay away from just to see how Carnelossi looks after coming back. Jared, were you saying that Rodriguez was the one coming back off a back injury? Because I thought it was Carnelossi.
No, it's Carnelossi. I think it was
Okay.
like a herniated disc or some shit.
Yeah. And it was like an experimental surgery.
Yeah.
Crazy shit going on. But, she's so physical. She's so strong. I think that Loopy and Angela Hill, those are good losses. Obviously, Na Liang, that's not a great win for Carnelossi, and Estela Nunez, yeah, whatever, but she's finishing in her wins. So yeah, I think she's the more physical, clearly. Piera Rodrigues, nothing to get excited about. These girls are the same age too. They're 1 inch difference in height. Technically the one with like the better tail of the tape measurements is Piera Rodrigues, but I mean just that physicality of Carnelossi. I think that coming back with USADA being gone, I think that Carnelossi comes back and she makes a statement here, and I think that she does something, but I'm not confident in it. I'm not going to throw too much money down on that. I'll probably have, $20 or something down on a finish for Carnelossi, but I'm not too overly excited about that. Alex, we'll go back to you on the Abus Magomedov versus Warley Alvarez fight. Seems like a tee-up fight for Abus after, 2 back-to-back losses. It seems like for whatever reason the UFC really likes this dude. Warley Alvarez kind of, sucking lately, but we saw this case be made last week that the vets aren't always out, man. Biggest favorite on the card was fighting a veteran. The veteran fucking stomped him out. So what do you think about this fight? Warley Alvarez versus Abus.
Well, thank God Abus isn't the biggest favorite on the cards, so we should be able to trust him this week.
Maybe.
You know, I like Abus. I like Magomedov in this fight. Round 1 KO. I'm pretty confident in it. If he comes in and does everything he did in the first round in the Sean Strickland fight, he's going to get a finish 100% of the time. And I just don't think Warley Alves could survive one storm. And I think, Magomedov got a couple of them. So Warley Alves has one shot, in my opinion, and that is to get like a fluky club and sub, somehow get it to the ground. And if he comes out with good fight IQ, he could probably make that happen. But I trust Magomedov to get this, to end this early, first round, under half round, and you probably won't get good odds on that.
Okay. Jared?
Yeah, I mean, for a boost, the kicking game, that's what he does best. The dude throws everything hard. His teep kicks, his front kicks. I mean, he's a good guy that he's going to push the pressure early. He likes to put a high pace on people right off the bat. But, you got to obviously be aware the dude has bad cardio, and he does tend to blow his load pretty early. And, we've seen it. If this dude gets tired and he doesn't get you out of there early, he turns into a quitter. The activity really slows down. And, there's times when he's tired, that dude don't want to be in there no more. On the Alves side, I mean, it's kind of weird that these guys are the same age because Alves feels so much older than he actually is. Like, I don't know how this dude's 33, but, at this point in his career, he's been pretty hit or miss, and he's definitely a bit chinny at this point. I think the only path for him is through the ground. But I'll tell you right now, if this dude can survive a round and a half, he absolutely has a chance in this fight. He's a tough dude, and this might be one of those no fagay situations. So this is going to be my wild take of the night. I'm going to side with Warley Alves by submission, round 2. You know how it is with the twos. But yeah, Alves submission, and if that doesn't come, maybe look at a double method, like a boost KO, Alves submission. That's pretty likely. But yeah, I'm going to side with Alves, pull off the sub here.
Yeah, I don't think that that's crazy at all, Jared. I actually have Alves by decision. I have zero confidence in Abus. I mean, the one guy that he's fucking beat in the UFC, he beat in 30 seconds.
Was that Dustin Stoltzfus?
Yeah. Dustin Stoltzfus sucks. Like he really is not a good fighter.
In one round, though, he almost pulled the Perea.
What do you mean?
And he's only like, come on, he went to the decision with Kyle Barajo. Like, come on, give him a break. He's UFC material.
Yeah, but Kyle Barajo is not dangerous, man. Like when he was fighting Paul Craig, I actually bet like a decent amount of money that he was going to beat him by decision, and no one beats Paul Craig by decision.
All I gotta say is look at the drastic drop in competition he's taking. He is getting this dub. He's gonna find his spot. This Warley Alves is not his ceiling, is all I'm saying.
Right, but Dustin, do you think Dustin Stoltzfus is better than Warley Alvarez?
That's the matchup that should be happening right now. This is a layup fight. All right, that fight, that's an even odds fight right there.
Yeah.
But this spot, it just feels like a layup. It looks like a layup.
So why is he only minus
And
250?
he's minus 300.
Oh, that means some money came in, but it opened minus 250.
You gotta hit him by TKO plus 125. That's how it's gonna happen. Maybe if you get, what is it, round one? Plus
Dude,
250 round one.
Listen,
Oh, baby. That might be the one right.
Warley Alvarez choked out Colby Covington. Okay.
That's the no forget that we're talking about. Was that 2015?
Yes, 2015, December 12th, 2015. He's beat some great people. He lost to Kamaru Usman by decision. It was unanimous. He also did lose to Brian Barberena, who sucks. But, he's fighting such a higher level of competition compared to fucking Abus. I'm not in on the Abus Magomedov train yet. If he beats Warley, if he finishes Warley, great. But yeah, dude, for right now, fuck Abus and fuck Germany. And I think that right now, we get, Alves, I think, comes through. That's just what I'm saying right now. I could be 100% wrong. I've been wrong a lot lately. I'm not confident in this dude, man. I was very high on him after seeing that fucking front kick knockout, brutal knockout over a really bad fighter in the UFC. But we'll see what happens.
I like this spot.
Well, yeah, that's good. I'm not confident in mine. Warley is 14 and fucking 7. But, Abus fighting in KSW, he is going to be probably on some roids, right? Because, it's allowed now, it seems like. But we'll see what happens. Alex, that was you. Jared, I'm sorry, this is me. You're taking the next one. Tamaris Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. What a weird spot. Melissa Gatto opened up as the biggest favorite on the card. She looks like iCarly, as Jared's mentioned. I definitely agree. And Tamaris Vidal looks like Gilbert Burns. Like just 100%. It's like the same fucking face. Obviously the easy side to take here is Melissa Gatto, but she's moving up a weight class from flyweight to bantamweight. This is short notice, relatively short notice, not incredibly short notice. I think Vidal was supposed to fight Haley Cowan, who Haley Cowan sucks. I mean, she was preparing for a bad opponent. My thing is, why is this so hard to pick? Not only because the odds, but because, Gatto's been off for 2 years. No, I'm sorry, 10 months. 10 months and 1 week. Last fight she had was 2 years ago against Tracy Cortez. But Tamaris Vidal, she should be so much better than she is. She doesn't seem like someone that takes the sport very seriously and doesn't take her career very seriously. She should have absolutely dominated Montserrat Rendon because Montserrat Rendon is not very physical. She's more of one of these technical point fighters, and she's not very dangerous. Tamaris Vidal, you look at her, you think she's dangerous, but she's not. She's very like unskilled. She's not good at fighting. Um, it's so hard for me to pick Gatto here, but I have to. I wouldn't bet her. I would recommend if you're betting, you bet Vidal, but I don't like even saying that. So what I'm going to say here is instead of saying like, oh, I like this side, but bet this side, I'm just going to take Tamaris Vidal and I'm going to say she wins by decision because these odds don't make any fucking sense. It's crazy that Melissa Gatto that likes working off her back and likes doing all this stuff. I'm not gonna fucking tell you like I like these odds, but go with this side. I'm taking Tamaris Vidal, and I'm just saying fucking whatever. Just fill in the blank. I'll say knockout round one. I don't believe in that, but Vidal knockout round one because this is such a weird fight. Doesn't make any sense that Gatto is so favored. Jared, what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, well, I will say the odds on this fight are definitely a bit wide, but on the Gatto side, she's well rounded. She seems pretty comfortable wherever the fight ends up. She's a durable girl. She's got good cardio. She's got good BJJ. If she's on her back, she's active. Pretty good basic boxing. She throws a lot of 1-2s and not much more than that, but it works for her. And it's kind of really hard to poke a hole in her game because she's not like I don't really see her lacking in any area. Not that she's like some world beater in any area, but she doesn't lack anywhere. I look at the Vidal side. She's a girl. She throws a lot of leg kicks right off the bat, and she's the type that she likes to wait and try to counter. And she's not the fastest, but she has a lot of power in that right hand. And but if she can't find that right hand, she gets frustrated. She starts to get a bit sloppy and just kind of starts throwing wild, looking for that big shot. I mean, she's not that good. I do think Gatto is probably better everywhere aside from the power. But yeah, I'm going to side with Gatto here. I'll say it goes far, Gatto by decision. And one note on Vidal, I have seen her get kneed in the vagina and punched in the tit, and they were both very funny.
Yeah, I mean,
She
she's a
fought Eileen Perez in Samurai House. Like it was like a fight or two before her debut, and she won that fight from illegal knees to the vagina.
yeah. Well, yeah, Eileen Perez and Eileen Perez was no, well, Tamara's Vidal was celebrating, right? And then, or no, Eileen Perez was celebrating, and then she ended up fucking losing.
Yes. Yeah, and that fight I'm talking about. It looked like they were in a fucking gym where they do those Samurai House fights.
Yeah, like the padding on the
Yeah, dude.
weird.
But yeah, it was hilarious. When she got kneed, it reminded me of that when South Park when Mr. Garrison became a lesbian and
Yeah,
when he got in a bar fight. Oh, you kicked me right in the pussy. Like
yeah,
it felt like one of the it was hilarious. And then I think it was Rendon where she got punched in the tit and like called for a timeout and she's holding her tit and you're like, does that count as an illegal shot?
yeah. Can't you just keep fighting? Yeah,
I've
weird.
I've seen girls get punched in the tit before and take it no problem.
Yeah, she's probably trying to really sell that she's a girl, because she looks like I said, she looks like Gilbert Burns. Has anyone seen Gilbert Burns and Tamara's Vidal in the same place? Probably not. So let's see. But Alex, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Other than a fluke knockout from Vidal, I think Gatto's got it everywhere. So I'm on the same page with Jared here. And the thing is that against Lipsky, she did have some bad she did have some bad spots on the feet where she just would stall or freeze, and I can see her getting knocked out in the future. I just don't know if Vidal's that girl. I think they're giving her a soft entry into 135, and I think she really was draining herself. She was big for her previous division. I gotta tell you, she was always big. So I think she's gonna have better cardio. We might see a little bit higher volume, and I think she's gonna get her first win at 135. I'd say I'm really leaning the under here. I think both of the girls can get a finish here. I think Gatto's got the BJJ advantage, so I'd throw a flyer on the under here, and you might get juicy odds on that. But I'm gonna go with Gatto by submission, round one.
Wow, I like that. Yeah, I have
Throw a
the
flyer
KO.
on Gatto by KO at those odds. I wouldn't mind that either, but that's how she wins, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It should be fun. I gotta show this real quick because I got these the other day. Jared, you're showing your card, your TJ Dillashaw card. You ever seen these auto mutations? Check this out. You got Donatello right here. You squeeze his legs, he shoots armor off. Yeah, that shit, right? I mean, what
I
do we?
I was actually about to buy one of those and then I turned 8 and I was like, maybe
Well,
not.
hey, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing. I'm actually adding up all my different collections here. Got
I'm
about
just giving you shit, dude. That's pretty cool.
No, I don't care, man. You can give me shit all you want.
All right, you're a fucking loser and you need to grow up.
I love my toys. I'll never grow up. You can't make me. All right. Next fight of the night, we got Umar Sai versus Tuco Tacos. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know either one of these guys, to be 100% honest. I have a feeling that both you guys know about these dudes more than I do. I took that last one, I think. So Alex, this is you. No, Jared, this is you. What do you think about Umar Sai versus Tuco Tokkos? I
Yeah,
don't
dude,
know
I'm gonna
though.
be fucking no help here. I just saw Tuco like got scheduled for this fight today, so I haven't gotten a chance to look into him. Probably not even going to. Um, when I looked at the Umar Sai, um, of course he has no UFC fights, so you can't go on ESPN and look at the UFC fight. So I fucking earlier today I just type his name into YouTube. First thing I see is him on fucking Jimmy Kimmel. And apparently this dude is in a Netflix show from France that's gotten popular in the US. I have no fucking idea. I was so confused. And I've never heard of this fucking guy. And that's all I know about him. And then I watched one fight where he fought a can and fucking hammer fisted the shit out of this dude's head. So I don't know anything here. So I'm just gonna take Psy, and considering the guy he's fighting is on like 4 or 5 days notice, I'll just say he gets a knockout round one.
Fine. Okay.
But I don't know shit about either guy other than this dude has a Netflix show and I guess got like the French equivalent to like an Oscar.
Well, yeah, I'll say before I let Alex go, I have very limited information on that. I'm on the side as well. It seems like they want Sai to win this. It seems like this is a setup for him. So yeah, give me Sai. Give me knockout round one as well. I think this is a showcase for him. I
He was
think
supposed to fight Bellato originally, and I was like, oh, that's a fucking layup right there.
yeah, it seems like they want this dude to win. So yeah, give me and is he more of a knockout artist or a submission artist? Or just a fucking well, he's all around. Probably a
Yeah, not a clue.
right? Um yeah, I would imagine that they want him to get the knockout. He's had 4 back-to-back canceled bouts. That's always a bad fucking look. But
I think 3 of them were his opponent pulling out. 3 of that 4.
sure. I mean, yeah, just give me Psy. I'm not doing any tape. I'm not doing any research. If this guy comes in and proves himself to be something that's exciting, I'll look into him more. But I really don't give a fuck about this fight, to be honest. Alex, where are you at here?
Yeah, so I won't be betting this fight. This is just to see where both of these guys are at. Um, but I like how do you even pronounce his name? I feel like I'm screwing this up every time.
Psy.
I want to call him Sadu by Sai.
Like
I don't even know
C,
what to
like
call him.
Sadabu C,
Yeah, Sadabusi, the guy from
PFL.
PFL. Yeah, that's like I thought it was his brother when I first looked at him. I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, from what I understand,
Well,
it's Psy. And I'm the pronunciation Nazi.
it does feel like a layup for him. He's the one pulling in the eyes, and he's the younger guy, and it feels like Tuco is like a sacrificial lamb in this spot. He's just they just brought him in to fill in a spot, late notice, and he just happens to be the age of Christ at 33 years old. He's the sacrificial lamb in the spot, and I'm gonna go with Umar to win by whatever he wants. You know, he has a pretty much. I'm gonna say he gets a submission. He's the first one to submit Tuco. Let's go round one.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's a nice look. It's a nice look. Um, I'm completely lost on this, so we'll go back to you, Alex. What do you think about Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez? Victor Martinez, oh boy. I mean, it doesn't seem like this dude is really, in my opinion, doesn't seem like he's UFC material, to be honest.
Why? Because he got knocked out by the goat.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan Levitt, when you think of Jordan Levitt, what do you think of? You think of tight boxing, right?
That's my dog right there.
Yeah, you think of tight boxing, you think of power, and you think of precision, you think of all kinds of violence. But Victor Martinez, he goes out there, he understandably gets knocked out by Jordan Levitt. Now, Tom Nolan, hype prospect, goes out there and just gets dominated by Nicholas Mata, who a lot of people thought was kind of fucking, cashed out as well. So, what do you think, Alex? I'm curious to hear rather what you think about this potentially overhyped prospect versus a dog shit prospect. What do you think about this one?
I mean, it's hard not to take the flyer on the dog here, just to get a dub. I don't like this fight at all. Clearly they're trying to put Tom Nolan back on track. Big train. It's funny because same thing happened to Landwehr in his first fight. He loses to Herbert Burns, but no one knew he was actually a really good fighter. But Tom Nolan should get back on track here, use his jab. But things could get out of control. He has that bad IQ, and I think if this gets into a brawl, you're gonna want to have the flyer on the dog here. I wouldn't hate anyone who wants to just throw, $25 down the drain on the brick. But Tom Nolan should get this fight. I don't think at -500 you should be putting anything near that though.
What about by a method of finish of some kind, right? Like a knockout?
I'm gonna go Tom Nolan decision.
Okay. It's the pussy way out, in my opinion. Um, man, I really think if you guys can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Something just fucking happened here. I will take Tom Nolan by knockout, and I'm gonna take Tom Nolan knockout round one. I think the same thing happens with if Jordan Levitt can fucking knock you out. 1 + 1 can equal 2 sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I hate doing that, but I'm not gonna overthink this shit. It's just like that's just what makes sense. Like Tom Nolan is decent. I think that he's got better hands than fucking Jordan Levitt, man. Call me crazy, but I think that he can strike better than Jordan Levitt. So yeah, give me the Tom Nolan knockout round one. Jared, where are you at here, man?
I don't know. If you're a better striker than Jordan Levitt, you're one of the best in the world. But
Probably.
yeah, dude. All right. So Tom Nolan was not dominated by Mata. I think he was actually doing fucking good work there. And dude just fucking got caught. Coming into this one, both of these guys obviously coming off embarrassing debuts. But Nolan, like most of his fights, he's got a big size advantage here, being 7 inches taller. He's a fast, rangy striker. He's a fast starter. The dude he comes out pretty hot, throws a lot of kicks. And he's definitely got some power too. He's not the most sound defensively just because, he likes to blitz in. The dude believes in his power. So, that's what got him caught against Mata. The dude rushed it and ended up getting caught. It happens sometimes. Victor Martinez on the other side, before the UFC, you see the dude fight, he does his best work when the guy's fighting behind his jab and he's not the guy on the back foot. But I mean, I don't see him even finding his jab against Nolan. I feel he's gonna be too far away from him. But getting knocked out by Jordan Levitt, it's something that I'm just not gonna be able to look past. So I'm gonna join you guys on the pussy side. Tom Nolan knockout round one.
Okay. Well, Alex has him by decision, so that is he's on the different side. Um, I think that's a side though, man. I think it makes sense. Now, who's taking this? Is it Alex? Who's next?
This one, I like this fight. I'm all over Hill in this spot.
Okay. Well,
I'm
look,
all over Hill. I've
let me
been
tell you,
riding her way.
we got Angela Hill. Angela Hill, all right, versus Luana Pinheiro. Luana Pinheiro, very sexy, very attractive woman. But Angela Hill, I mean, I got a card, and it's a card that she actually held in her hand and signed the card herself. It's an on-card signature. These are rare these days. Usually they sign stickers and they put them
Yep.
on the cards. It's bullshit. This is an on card. It's one of 99. You guys know what's cool about Angela Hill, by the way? For a conspiracy.
Grandparents, aliens, right?
Yeah. Her grandparents are Betty and Barney Hill, which were like the first interracial couple that ever, reported a fucking alien abduction encounter and all this shit. Very interesting. She's talked about this in press conferences where, are you going to be a part of your grandparents' documentary? And she's like, well, they don't want me part of it and all this shit. But she is a family member of the Hills, and yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. So that's the reason I bought this card was $4. And it's a shadow box fucking, immaculate card. So yeah, we'll take one. But not an exciting fighting style, man. I'll tell you that right now. But Alex, what do you think about Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro?
I like Hill. I think she's just, you know, um, almost at 40, but she's been looking better than ever. Destroying prospects like Denise Gomes. She destroyed Emily Ducote, who's also on the card, and she beat Lupe Godinez, who no one saw coming as well. But that Mackenzie Dern loss was brutal. But she looks great if she can, control the wrestling in a fight. She's usually gonna win the fight. So I'm gonna go Angela Hill decision. Would I be shocked if I see a knockout? Would I be shocked if Luana, puts it on her and puts a lot of damage on her early? Because she was winning that fight against Rebus early as well, and it kind of seemed like she gassed out. So I am scared of that. I would have liked to got Hill at dog odds. Seems like they're all over this as a spot. And I'd wait a little bit. I think there's going to be some action to come in on Luana, but I like Hill in this spot. She's been hot lately. 3-1 in her last four. A lot of them as a dog price. And here she comes in as a small favorite. I'm going to go with Angela Hill. Not super confident. It might be a biased spot for me because I've been winning with her lately. But I just don't trust Luana. I think she can gas out. Um, Look at the strength of schedule too. You know, Nothing even close to what Angela Hill has been through. So I'm gonna go Angela Hill money line. But if you want to take a prop, I'd go decision.
Jared?
Uh, yeah, I mean, Pinheiro, girl with the judo base, she, wants to kind of punch her way into a clinch and try to get her trips and throws from there. Uh, I've seen her on the ground. When she's on the ground, she likes to try to capitalize on good positions. Like if she's on top, she kind of rushes things where, you know, if she, kind of submission over position, and just when she rushes things like that, she gets out of place, and that tends to give her opponents a chance to get back to their feet. On her When she's on her feet, she's aggressive. The girl, she's not going to shy away from any wild exchanges. She's not bad. She definitely belongs in the UFC, or at least in the top 15 of this division. But one thing I think about her, dude, I think she's kind of a dirty fighter. Like she at her 4 UFC fights, 3 of those fights, I saw she was grabbing the fence. She got warned. She hit an eye poke in 2 of those fights, several eye pokes. And then if you look at her Randa Marcos fight, where she won from an illegal up kick from Marcos, she deserves a fucking Oscar for that, because it wasn't that hard of a kick, and she was flopping around on the ground. Like I'm talking like as much as Aljo was. So, I don't really know what I think about this girl, but there's things like that I really don't like. On the hillside, I mean, 39 years old. She's 16-13, not a good record. 11-13 in the UFC, but this girl's better than her record shows. If you look at the caliber of girl she's fighting, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's hard to take away from her. Though she has those losses, a lot of them, she's fighting good girls. And when she's on her feet, she's high volume, she's high accuracy, she has good defense. She avoids a lot of shots, and she get a lot of girls have trouble reading her. She shows a lot of different looks. She mixes things up. I like when she switches stances. You know, you can start to tell when she's feeling herself. You know, and though she's towards the tail end of her career at 39, I truly believe she's the better fighter, and I truly believe she's the more proven fighter. So I'm going to say Angela Hill wins a decision in this one.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to go the other way. I'll take Pinheiro, and I think that she ends up actually getting a decision win here. I know that that seems like that's not the way that you beat somebody like this. Is this the girl that is dating um
Nicolau.
Mateus Nicolau? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So they need a win in that family. You know what I mean? Like they need a win there. And Mateus Nicolau, he's done. I think that it's proven that he's not going to be fighting in the UFC very long because this guy can't take a fucking punch. She's clearly tougher than he is, in my opinion. And I think that she's going to go out there and she's not going to finish Angela Hill, but she's going to have her in all kinds of trouble in round one, I think. And that's going to make it to where Angela Hill can't really get off on round 2 and 3. So it could be a potential like 10-8 in round one for Luana, and then very very close 2 and 3 rounds. So give me again the Luana decision, but it's going to look like she's going to get a finish in round one. She's just not going to actually get it because Angela Hill's so tough. So yeah, give me Pinheiro, man. Give me Luana. Um, I just have a hard time betting on Angela Hill, man. You mentioned it, all the things, Jared, where it's like, she's 39, sure. She's kind of like a Holly Holm, where her style doesn't really matter with her age, but she's fighting somebody I think that's so much more physically gifted than she is. And I think that this is where she falls short. So that's just my opinion. We'll see. Like I said, I've been on a fucking real cold streak lately. So probably pick Angela Hill, to be honest. But yeah, I'm on the Pinheiro side. Um, but yeah, we will see. Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador. I'm on Adrian Yanez, man. I think that this is the UFC likes this dude for some reason. I'm not sure why. He he's proven to not be that good of a fighter. Very one-dimensional, very boxing heavy. He's not even a kickboxer. He's just a boxer. He likes throwing 1s and 2s, 3s and 4s, 5s and 6s. He likes just boxing. Very, very one-dimensional. He lost to Jonathan Martinez last. Jonathan Martinez lost to a roided up Jose Aldo. Understandable, right? Jose Aldo's very, very skilled, but USADA's gone. So there's all these old people coming back and just fucking looking great. And before that, he lost to Rob Font. He got dropped. He got knocked the fuck out by Rob Font early on in that fight. So I don't know. I don't like picking Yanez here, especially at these odds, but I think this is a setup fight because the UFC sets this dude up with people that don't know how to shoot takedowns. Vinicius Salvador is another one of these guys that doesn't shoot takedowns. So yeah, give me Yanez, probably a decision. If he loses to Salvador, he should probably really reconsider his game, and he might get let go. And I think he should get let go if he loses in this spot. Vinicius Salvador is not UFC material, I don't think. He beat Shannon Ross in his Contender Series win, and who gives a fuck about that? And then he goes on, he loses to Victor Altamirano by decision, and then loses to CJ Vergara, who is borderline UFC caliber. Yeah, like I said, if Yanez loses to Salvador, it's PFL for you, baby. Like you're not worth UFC fucking audience, to be honest. So give me Yanez. If he loses, get the fuck out of here, dude. But yeah, give me Yanez by decision. I think that he squeaks this out because I don't think Yanez is very good, but I think he's better than Salvador. So Jared, what do you think about this, man?
And I think you're being a little harsh on him there, man. You got finished by two guys that are top contenders, or at least in the top 10. I'm not going to discredit him too much for that. But I will admit, yeah, he's super one dimensional. He's got that boxing heavy approach, and that's about it. But this dude's fucking, he got them hands, dude. That's why it works for him. In this fight, Salvador, I
Doesn't
mean,
work
dude,
for him though, Jared. Like, how does it work for him? Like, do you really think that his style works for him?
yeah, he's 5-2 in the UFC. It's worked for him 5 out of 7 times.
Has he fought anyone that shoots takedowns?
Shit. Off the top of my head, I really couldn't tell you.
He's fought in the UFC. I'll just tell you right now. Victor Rodrigues doesn't shoot takedowns. Gustavo Lopez doesn't shoot takedowns. Randy Costa, not in the UFC. Um, Davey Grant, not really shooting takedowns. Tony Kelly, Rob Font, Jonathan Martinez. None of those dudes. Like the UFC wants this dude to win, and that's why he's winning. But then they try to move him up in the ranks, and he's fucking losing, dude. He's getting fucking finished. So that's the problem. So sorry to interrupt you, but I
No,
just
you're good. I think the guys he got finished by, I mean, it was a big jump up for him from the guys he was beating. I mean, those are two tough fights, man. I mean, the majority of people are losing to them. I mean, Salvador is getting smoked by either of those guys probably much faster. But I think this is a fight here that doesn't require much thought. Salvador, the guy's 0-2 in the UFC for a reason. This guy's not good. I don't think highly of him at all. And yeah, this is a setup fight for Adrian Yanez to get back in the win column, dude. I think this is a tailor-made matchup. At first, I was like, this is weird matchmaking, but I'm like, you know what? He's no longer in the rankings, so they're just trying to give him a dub here. So, maybe he can turn things around and start to expand his horizons a little bit, maybe go a little bit further than just a boxing approach. But I mean, hey, this is a good guy to practice with. So I'm going to say Yanez finds a knockout in this fight. I'll say he gets it round 2.
okay. That means you're confident that
I'm
round.
very confident. Oh, yeah, the round 2. Yeah, that's how you know.
Alex, what you got?
This is a good matchup for both guys, actually, because Vinicius usually struggles with grapplers as well. They're both strikers. I think we're gonna. This is on the main card for a reason, and this is gonna be a banger. I think this is gonna be a bloody war, and I think it's actually gonna be closer than a lot of people think. I'm gonna take the Vinicius side. I think he ekes out a decision. I think he gets hurt. But here's where it comes down to is that I think he has the ability to shoot when he's hurt. And I think he just has a little bit higher IQ when it comes to, you know, what to do in situations when you're hurt. And you should shoot, you should get to a position where you can take a breather. But when it comes to Giannis, I think he'll just be a sitting duck. And I don't think he'll have that in him. And just based on that, that theory, I got to go with the dog side here. I think it's going to be close volume wise, and any close decision, I'm going to want to be on that dog side, baby. So I'm gonna go Vinicius ekes out a close decision, and yeah, not super confident. I am rooting for Yanez. I am a fan of his, but he is taking a step down here. But I think people are underrating Vinicius a little bit. His striking game isn't that bad.
Yeah, I
All
love
right, Ryan, I got something for you for people shooting takedowns on Yanez.
Okay.
Granted, these aren't wrestlers, but Yanez has had 5 takedowns shot on him in the UFC, and he's defended all 5. 3 of them came from Victor Rodrigues, who, I mean, come on. One from Davey Grant, and then one from the greatest wrestler in the UFC, Rob Font. So he's at least stuffed some takedowns. I mean, come on.
Yeah, obviously, Rob Font's a fucking boxer as well, right?
My dude's heard of an underhook. All right, that's all I need.
So it's great that you mentioned that 5 takedowns have been shot on him. So like he's fighting strikers again. Like he's fought more. He's only fighting strikers.
And he's turning strikers into wrestlers. All right, I'm sorry. Go
ahead. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. But at the end of the day, man, like somebody like a Jonathan Martinez, who is a one-dimensional kickboxer. He wasn't. He. I don't know, man. It's a tough matchup. It's interesting, but I love what Alex said here. where he's like, yeah, this is a fucking close matchup between these dudes because no one is really giving Vinicius any credit at all. Like no one's thinking like this dude's got a fucking chance because Yanez is a marketable dude. He's a good looking dude. He's fucking like he's flashy with the hands. He's good with the hands. It just seems like there's something going on here. So I don't think that anyone's crazy for taking Salvador. Um, I don't know, man. It's a weird fight. It's weird. It's a major step down in competition for Yanez. So it seems like it's something where it's tailor made for this dude to win. And if he doesn't fucking capitalize on this opportunity, then it's PFL all day for him. So, either Alex is going to look like a fucking genius or he's going to look like he took the bait, right? He took the bait for the UFC to be like, oh, yeah, this guy, he's getting a step down in competition, all this stuff. I don't think that it's crazy at all for you to take that, Alex. I think it's a good call. If you got a free $1 million to bet on one side or the other, I'll tell you right now, I'm taking Salvador, but I don't have a free $1 million, so I'm taking Yanez, who is heavily favored. So good call on your part, Alex. Let's move up to I don't even know who the fuck is going. I'll just give this to you, Jared. We got this dude. I mean, god damn. If you ever watched this fight, this Ramiz Brahimaj. This dude, he's lucky to have a fucking ear. I don't know. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen that fight against, I think it was Max Griffin? You guys see that
We
fight?
watched
Yeah.
live. We watched it live. It was tough to watch, but it
I,
was good
that
because we had
dude's
money on
ear was
that
gone.
fight. But it was still hard to like watch.
Yeah, it's a brutal fucking thing. You can look it up on Google, but it's hard to actually see the actual pictures of it because most of it's blurred out. I did not see it live, but you can look back and you can just see this dude. I mean, you have to do some almost it's like dark net, dark web searching, and you can see this dude's fucking ear hanging off his brain. It's disgusting. And it was when he was fighting, I think, Max Griffin. And it was disgusting. It was horrible. Was it Max Griffin that he fought? Yes, it was. Disgusting. Horrible, nasty. He's fighting Themba Gorimbo. Themba Gorimbo is someone that I am not high on at all whatsoever. I think that he's overrated. But he went out there and he knocked out a dude that I thought that he had to wrestle. So maybe he's rounding out his game a little bit. I'm curious what you guys think. Um Jared, I'll give this to you. Like I said, I have no idea whose turn it is. Alex, you're taking the next one, and then I'll take the main event. Um, what do you think about this, Jared, to start?
Whenever I see Themba's name, I think his last fight we were talking it over, and I remember you had mentioned the rock bottom a house, and you're like, "How the fuck do you get a house?" I'm like, That's all I can think about every time I see this dude's name. Like, how the fuck do you get a free house, dude? Kind
Right.
of bullshit. But I mean, how many fighters live in gyms? Like, that's not an uncommon thing. But whatever. Fucking Gorimbo in this fight, dude. I mean, he's longer, so he should look to use his length, and he should really try to keep this striking. Just use his long kicks, long jabs. Just try to keep him away. The dude has grappling ability, but if he plays that game with Brahimaj, I think it's a mistake. Even if he ends up landing a takedown, I would be willing to bet he gets reversed. He's not horrible, but he's just not a dude that I hold in the highest regard. Is that a Michael Jordan Ninja Turtle?
Yeah, dude.
It's a lot of ways to say I'm gay, but all right.
Hey, don't be jealous.
But yeah, dude, Brahimaj side
Oh.
expect this dude to be shooting a takedown within the first minute. We're talking one dimensional last fight. This dude is one dimensional with the wrestling. Like, he comes in with that wrestle heavy approach, and if he gets you down, he got some good top pressure. He's really, really good positionally, but he's one dimensional. He doesn't seem to have a backup plan if he's not landing those takedowns. So, and you got to know the guy has only won fights so far, and his every win on his record is by submission. I think Gorimbo's got a good enough grappling to survive some submission attempts, but I'm gonna go a little out there. I'm gonna say Brahimaj gets him down, gets control, wears him out, and I'm gonna say he ends up finding a ground and pound here. I'm gonna take Brahimaj by knockout. I'm gonna call it round 2 because I'm so confident.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting take, man.
Yeah, that's why the line's so close. Like, I honestly have to agree with Jared here. I'm on the same side as I like Ramiz. You know, one of these guys coming back after 2 years. Well, it's Carnelossi, my bad. You know, they got to get a dubski. You know, not everyone who takes a layoff loses a fight. And yeah, right away the line looked out to me. I said, you know, why is this line so close? He hasn't fought in 2 years because stylistically, Themba, and if you watch tape, you could almost bet on it that Themba's going to give him plenty of opportunities to get a submission, to have attempts. You know, he's not shy of getting into the grappling. I think he's very new to the game, and that IQ really needs to grow. And you got to look at the camp he's coming out of, you know, MMA Masters, mainly a wrestling gym, you know, training with guys like Kobe Covington. So you got to think he's probably mostly training wrestling, and that is his primary style. You know, although he did knock out Pete Rodrigues, all right, you got power, but you know what happens if Brahimaj, you know, pulls the BJJ Charles Oliveira stunt, goes to his back, and you jump into guard? You know, I'm gonna feel a lot better about my situation there. But I think Brahimaj is gonna have a lot of opportunities, and I think he does get a submission round 1.
Okay. Sub round 1. What'd you say KO round what, Jared?
Round 2 because I'm so ultra confident.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna take Themba Gorimbo decision.
Yeah,
Um,
but I do like them. But the story is amazing. You know, it's a great story, and he should be improving faster than any other fighter after been giving the entire world to him. You know what I mean?
right, and that's the reason why I'm taking him. It's like it seems like there's a reason for this guy to win, right? It doesn't seem like no one gives a fuck if this Brasha guy wins. Like I don't even know his fucking name. This Ramiz Brahimaj, like whatever the fuck, who cares about this guy, right? He seems like an NPC, and the way that I think about him is like anytime somebody fights like Raul Rosas, that guy seems like an NPC, with the exception of like Christian Rodrigues, right? It seems like anybody that the UFC matches up against these certain fighters, it seems like they're NPCs. It's like who the fuck cares about these people? It's all about this one guy. So yeah, give me Themba, give me a decision. It's probably pretty boring. But you know, I think that he could actually get a finish at some point. Themba's, you know, actually found his power. He knocked out Pete Rodrigues. That was pretty unexpected. Pete Rodrigues is out of Tucson, Arizona, my home city. Not UFC material, I will say that. I think that I could probably do better in the UFC than Pete Rodrigues could. But Jesus, you know, it's going to be a fun thing to see how this fight goes. And Jared, I will say this is probably the gayest Ninja Turtle that I have. It's a Marine Ninja Turtle.
Oh yeah, it's gay and retarded.
That's probably the gayest one. He eats crayons. You know what I mean?
Is he holding a crayon?
No, but he
That'd be
eats.
a nice touch.
But yeah, dude. Yeah, I gotta show off my Ninja Turtles here. We'll move on to the next, the co-main, and this is who did I say had this? I said I had the main event. Who has this one?
Yeah, this is Alex.
Alex, you got Chaos Williams versus Carlson Harris. What do you got?
All right, so we got, you know, striker versus grappler, and let me just say, Jared was there when I bet Carlson Harrison his last fight, which he won round 3 sub. But boy, was I pissed off the first 2 rounds of that fight. He didn't land a strike in the first round. And just, you know, betting on him in his last fight just gave me PTSD, even though he got the win there. Um, those are just, it was a spot where you wouldn't even a live bet on him to win. It looked so bad. And I feel like this could be one of those spots if you don't see him fight at his game plan. Like if he doesn't get takedowns in round one, it's not going to look good. And he's still underrated on the feet. It's just last fight, I don't know who showed up. He just looked very gun shy, and it was kind of hard to watch. So, you know, in a boxing style fight, Chaos Williams will eat him up, probably finish him, in my opinion. But Carlston Harris has a big, big advantage in the grappling, and I think the under in this fight is great. I do love a finish here. I think Carlston. I'm on the Carlston Harris side. Am I super confident on it? No. I'm probably gonna just keep my eye on the live betting because if he, nothing's worse than missing out on a good spot on a dog. You know what I mean? 2 rounds in, you don't see the comeback happen. And yeah, I'm gonna go Carlston Harris gets the sub. Not super confident, but I think he can hang on the feet with Chaos Williams. Nothing he hasn't seen before. Hard overhand right, and I think he can get it down and take the back at a rear naked choke. We'll go round 2. Takes him a little while.
All right, sub round 2 for Harris. I like that. Jared, where are you at here, man? With Harris versus the old Chaos.
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of what Alex was saying, but I heard sub for Harris, and that is definitely the path of least resistance in this one. I mean, and the guy's good. If you look at his UFC record, the guy his only loss in the UFC was Shavkat. I mean, in this fight, dude, he should really look to grapple as early as possible. He's got a good clinch. He's got a good ground game. He's not bad on his feet either. He mixes things up. He got fast kicks. Might be a little bit of a slow starter, which is it's kind of a dangerous game here to play with Chaos. And he does like the counter strike too, which is also this is a dangerous guy. If you're gonna try to counter with this guy, I mean, be ready for some heat coming your way. But this dude should really be looking for takedowns early and often. The Chaos side, we know what we're getting. Dude's a powerful striker. We know he's got that big KO power. He usually likes to start the fight with just spamming hard calf kicks. And, he wants to be the aggressor. He doesn't, want to be the guy taking backward steps. He wants to put you on the back foot. And he's not the most technical, but that's because he believes in his power. He really does think if he connects, he can put you out of there. I mean, he likes to blitz. He likes to have those explosive movements, but the dude loads up and he hits hard. But when he loads up, I mean, there's openings there. And I definitely think there's a gap on the ground. I actually was going to pick Chaos, but as I'm talking out loud, I feel like I'm kind of making better points for the Harris side. But I don't know. I'll stick to my guns here. I'm going to say Chaos finds a knockout early. I think that's his best chance. While Harris is doing his slow starting ways and Chaos is super aggressive, that's probably his best shot is to get an early knockout. So I'll say Chaos KO round 1, but this is another fight that's probably good for a double method where you can look at a Chaos KO or a Harris sub,
Yeah, I think this is a Harris decision. I think that this is where you go on this point. Harris, who did he fight last? Where I was really I was 100%. Yeah, Jeremiah Wells. I thought he was gonna lose, dude. Like I thought he was gonna get knocked out. And then even before that, when he was fighting Jared Gooden, just not. I think that everything that this dude does, he does it so well. Yeah, he's older, but I don't give a fuck, man. This dude is really good. He's more established. Chaos Williams has the power, and that's it. But if you can avoid power, I've really realized like how did we feel betting on fucking Robelis to Spain last week, right? Like
I
Robelis to
felt like
Spain
a
has that
fucking
power.
dumbass.
Yeah, I feel like a fucking moron, dude. That's where my night turned from like good to horrible because I put everything that I had on Robelis to Spain knockout, just knockout, not round 1, just knockout. Robelis is paying knockout. And he fucking looked like he didn't even belong in the UFC. So I think that at a lower level, maybe even at a higher level, Chaos Williams doesn't really belong at this level. He's just a powerful fucking dude. So give me somebody that's more well-rounded. Give me Harris, and you just give me him to weather the storm and to win the fight. I would take him money line because he is probably an underdog, I would imagine. If he's not,
Yeah, it's close to even, but he's a slight dog.
okay. Well, yeah, just take that money line. And you're not gonna hate yourself. If you're gonna bet $100 on one fight or the other, I would throw that on Harris. And I think that he ends up winning probably by decision. He could finish him, but I think that he's just the smarter guy at 36. What are they fighting at welterweight? Is that where they're at?
Yep.
Yes, they are. So, that's not horrible to be 36 at that stage in the game. These aren't ranked opponents. These are just higher level MMA fighters, man. So yeah, give me Carlston Harris and give me him by decision over the power puncher that I think gasses out later as the fight goes. Yeah, Harris all day by decision. I'm fairly confident in that as well. Um, Main event of the evening: Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. Edson Barboza just fought a high level dude in Sadiq Youssef, but Sadiq Youssef went out there and really shit the bed against Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes, I think, is going to be a champion in that featherweight division at some point. I think that he could, as crazy as it might sound, I think that he could actually beat Ilia Topuria. If they fought today, I think that Diego Lopes could really give um Ilia Topuria a run for his money, man. I really think highly of Diego Lopes. So I'll say right now, man, I think that Edson Barboza gives Lerone Murphy a run for his money. I think this goes the distance, but I don't think that this is the same as the fight against fucking the last two that he fought. Who was it? I just fucking mentioned him a couple times.
St.
Uh,
Jeremiah Wells, or oh no, you're talking Sadiq Youssef. We
yeah,
moved on.
Sadiq Youssef. I think it looks similar, but I think Lerone Murphy is actually a good fighter, man. I think he's very technical. I think this goes the distance, but I think that Lerone Murphy wins this by decision. And I think that he wins it by unanimous decision. I think that it's pretty clear, but there's going to be some points where Edson, kind of rocks Murphy. Murphy's going to rock Edson. But yeah, give me Edson Murphy. I'm sorry, give me Lerone Murphy by decision in this one. Alex, what do you think?
I'm on the same side as you. I like Murphy here. I think this is a good step up for him. But here's the thing: is that they're both slow starters, and I don't really like this line. I would have really liked to get dog odds on Murphy, and I would still like to. I'm really gonna watch this fight and maybe get a live bet in after round one, round two on Murphy because I'm expecting him to lose those first two rounds to Barboza. To be honest, I think we're gonna see something similar to the Dan Ige fight where Barboza's coming out fast, and I think Murphy's gonna find his game in round three, four, and I think he gets a fifth round knockout. The damage will accumulate, but I don't think he's gonna look good in rounds one, two. I think he's gonna stand with them for too long, eat too many kicks, wear some damage. But rounds three, four, he gets a lot of takedowns. Wears out Barboza, and I think his cardio shows in round five, and he gets him out of there.
Yeah, I like it. So what's the method? What's the how are we going in? What is it?
Going Murphy round five knockout.
Okay. KO round 5. It's gonna be some fucking big money too. Jared, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you guys are saying. Murphy's good, dude. I mean, he's sharp boxing. Dude's got very, very fast hands, and I like the movement on the feet. You know, he's a real stick and move kind of guy. He switches stances pretty often, showing different looks. And you know, we know he wants to be on his feet. I'd say if I got to poke any hole in his game, I'd say the weakest part of his game has got to be in the grappling. But he's not clueless. You know, this dude, I've seen him take people down and I've seen him get taken down. But when he gets taken down, he does know how to create scrambles. He does know how to get back to his feet. But I like him on the feet, man. I like that technical in and out style. He's just really good at hitting and not getting hit. And I mean, you know, he's just the dude's really good. And this is a big test for him against, you know, Barboza. He's a vet coming into his 30th UFC fight. You know, his kicking game is, you know, amongst the best there is. And, you know, I'd like that high pace, you know, it's kind of like a Muay Thai style, but it's high paced Muay Thai. And, you know, adding his spinning shit in there and, you know, kind of the unpredictability, you know, it's shit you like to see, man. He's good. I mean, he has a highlight reel that's, you know, at the top. If you look at guys' highlight reels, he probably has one of the best highlight reels in the UFC. Granted, a lot of those highlights are back when they were allowed to have their own sponsors on their shorts, you know, so he is getting a little older at 38, but the dude just, you know, it showed a lot in his last fight. The dude, even as old as he is, he has so much heart, so much toughness, and it was his last fight, man. What a great comeback. That was really something there. But, you know, that can't deter us from, he almost got finished in that fight. I mean, he almost got knocked out like probably 3 or 4 times in that first round. You know, he's a dude that he's high mileage. He's taken a lot of damage over the course of his career. But I mean, the dude, he's still here, man. He's still here for a reason in the rankings. This is a really big opportunity for Murphy to try to break into the top 15 here, you know, not ranked, fighting number 11, Barboza. You know, Murphy's the younger guy, and he's taken nowhere near the amount of damage that Barboza has. But he's also hasn't fought anywhere near the level of competition that Barboza has fought. I think we can all agree Barboza's the best dude that Murphy's ever been in there with. So I think if we have any questions about Murphy, they're going to get answered in this fight. I got to side with the vet here, man. I think this fight goes long, and I think the longer this fight goes, the more it's going to benefit Barboza. He's no stranger to these 5-round wars. He's no stranger to having a younger, faster dude throwing shit at him. So I'm going to say Barboza can do what he does and weather that storm. And I think he gets his hand raised at the end of this. So I'm going to say Barboza wins a decision.
Yeah, I like it. And actually, thinking about it more, it seems like, yeah, Murphy should try to probably get a finish. I just don't think that he has that fight IQ. So you're gonna look like a genius if this fucking works out. You know, if I think that if Edson wins, I think that he does it by decision. So we'll see how that goes. But man, give us the extra bets. Give us the whale bets. Give us the fucking 4-teamer steamers. Alex, Jared, what do you got? I'll start with you, Jared.
I'm going to hit you with the most garbage whale bet I've ever hit you with. It's a 3-teamer and it's only plus 100. But you know how the whale bets are, man. We want them to be safe. We want them to be safe. We want to hit. So you know, my goal with these whale bets is as long as it's at least plus 100, and I'm confident, we're fucking good to go. So kind of like I did a couple weeks ago, cross-contaminated one FC with UFC. I'm going to cross-contaminate again. We got 2 Bellator legs and 1 UFC leg. We're going with Archie Colgan and Patchy Mix and Adrian Yanez. The 3 of those assholes get to plus 100. I like it, man. I'm confident in it. As far as the steamer, we got a 3-teamer steamer this week. We're going to go Clayton Rodrigues, Angela Hill, Edson Barboza, sitting at plus 530.
What was it?
The steamer, Clayton Rodrigues, Angela Hill, Edson Barboza.
Okay. And what is that at?
Plus 530.
Okay.
And that Archie Colgan line is getting smoked too. I got it at plus 500, minus 500, which is pretty shitty, but I'm confident in the dude. I think he pulls it off here, no problem. and then Patchy
That's a
makes.
separate bet, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's that's what the whale bet's supposed to be. We're supposed to be safe. Alex calls it garb. We call it the garb blessing. You tell me it's garbage, that means it's cashing.
Okay. I like it. Alex, do you have anything that you are very confident on this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be putting a little money on a boost Magomedov round one knockout plus 250. That seems pretty good to me. I'll throw a little bit on that. And do want to watch interviews that come out tomorrow, which is a very important step of this. But I think Piera Rodrigues is a great leg for whatever you want. And probably will parlay her with a boost money line if you don't want to get greedy on round one. So yeah, that's a secondary bet for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I am not confident on anything this weekend. Um, and I'm not going to give any picks. I'm not confident on a goddamn thing. So, I would recommend you guys check out what Alex and Jared have because I'm not confident on a goddamn thing that I think in my mind. It's been rough the last 2 weeks, but once we get on a winning rec again, I'll give my recommendations.
Hey,
But
we got
Yeah,
Dustin
you're winning on
Poirier
movie
gonna.
Rex at least.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a fact.
I can do
Hey, at
that.
least Dustin gonna get us that sub next week, huh?
Yeah, it's not next week. It would be what, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now.
Oh,
But yeah, I think that Dustin Poirier probably gets a knockout. I'm gonna put a little bit of money on Dustin Poirier knockout. I think that he actually gets his fucking belt. Honestly, I really think that DP gets his fucking.
oh, that submission, that guillotine, maybe he actually
I mean, it'd
gets
be
it.
pretty
It's
funny, man. He's had 2 title shots and he got submitted in both of them. His third time the charm and he finds a submission of his own. It'd be pretty fucking
that would be a
crazy.
great story. Plus
Yeah,
2200.
I don't see it, dude.
He's gonna get a knockout. I think that he could actually
I want
knock
to
out
take
Islam.
Dustin so bad too.
Yeah, I want Dustin. Who the fuck wants Islam Makhachev to be fucking champion? Who the fuck wants that dude to
Do we
be?
know what the line is on that fight? Are they giving respect to Poirier?
Yeah, it's Dustin plus 370, almost 400.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
No respect.
yeah. I'll take Dustin all day, my dude. Look, let me show you this shit real quick. I'll show you the shit.
He's about to bust out a Ninja Turtle on us.
While we're recording, this is the Dustin Poirier Ninja Turtle that I made. Okay, he's got all the tattoos.
Oh, you threw the autograph sticker on there too, huh? And that
Yeah,
hot sauce shit. I mean,
yeah,
that for real looks like you bought it.
yeah.
I know you cut it out all carefully and shit.
Yeah, it's a nice setup. So that's Dustin the Diamond Poirier's fucking Ninja Turtle. But yeah, he's my favorite fighter, dude. So I will always bet on him. I did bet against him in the Justin Gaethje fight. I just saw that working against him and I cashed against him. So I have a perfect betting record with Dustin Poirier, and I will be betting him heavily against Islam. I think that he wins that belt, honestly. So you can tell me, you can fade me, but I know my fighters, and Dustin Poirier is my biggest fighter. So anyway, we'll get out of here, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Anyone listening, this is a fun episode. We have a kind of a bullshit card that we're going into, but we've got a week off after this, and then we're heading into some fun times. So, follow Profit Picks. You can watch this on the YouTube. You can also follow Profit Picks on Instagram. You can follow Teep Picks on Instagram. And I know Teep Picks gives out, some pretty solid picks to like different fighters and shit like that, right? Like some people have reached out to you, right, Jared?
Yeah, actually, Archie Colgan, which is on that whale bet, he hit me up. He hit me up once, made him some money, sent me a little money bag and a thumbs up after, and then he hit me up again, gave him a few losers. I haven't heard from him since.
Okay. Well, hey.
That sucks. You gotta hit him with. You gotta DM him, get him back.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna DM him this week and be like, "Yo, you're the bet this week, dude."
Well, yeah, I mean, he's either gonna realize that you're a
Hit him
genius
up and be
or
like, "Yo, what's the method I bet you by? Because I can't be hitting you at minus 650, bro."
Yeah, this dude ain't fucking answering me fight week. I was shocked that he even hit me up to begin with.
Come on, bro. Put some money in our pockets. Ask him what he's been training. Ask him
I mean, I know he's training with Gaethje. He's been for a while at over at On It.
bang, leg kick galore.
why I like it. But anyway, fun shit here. Good luck to anyone that's betting either fade us or go with us. Reach out to us. Make sure that you watch on YouTube, Profit Picks on YouTube. Fucking seek out that channel, follow it, like the fucking videos. It's not that hard. It takes 2 seconds. Grow that channel. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for paying attention and good luck to all your bets. We'll see you next week.